Y'all thought I was finished? Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Hey, I'm your host, Port City Ace, and welcome back to Philly Fan Sports. We have a lot of good games coming on in Week 18. This is the last week of this long season, and we have some really good divisional games. A lot of games for individuals trying to get into the playoffs, and some individuals trying to get out of the playoffs, right? And getting knocked out of the playoffs by other teams for Week 18. So let's get it started, man. So we have some Saturday games. We have two Saturday games. The first game is Kansas City versus the Raiders. I believe that Kansas City will be sitting some individuals, but I'm going to give them the victory, even though the Raiders actually had a really good game last week against the 49ers, which actually kind of pushed the 49ers into overtime. But I believe that Kansas City will get this victory, even though I'm not completely sure that they need this win to keep the number one seed in the AFC. But I believe I'm going to give them the win. I'm not even sure if Patrick Mahomes is going to play the whole game, but I'm going to give them the win in this game. Now, here is where the playoffs actually start. We have the Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a playoff game. Whoever wins this game is going to the playoff. Whoever loses this game is going home. So technically the playoffs start this week and wild card weekend starts the week after. All right. So for this game, I'm actually going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe that our old coach, Doug Peterson, will actually get the Jaguars into the playoffs and everything else with that team. They have been playing some really good ball as of late, and I believe that they're going to be the ones that get this victory. Tennessee has been on a little skid as of late, and I actually want to see the Jaguars make the playoffs, and I want to see Trevor Lawrence get his first kind of playoff feel and just kind of see where he is amongst the great quarterbacks in the AFC. So I'm going to give it to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we're going to go into the Sunday game. So we're going to start with Baltimore versus Cincinnati versus the Bengals. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Before the tragedy happened in their game and against Buffalo, once again, prayers for Damar Hamlin and his family and everything that he's going through as of right now. But for this game, I'm actually going to take the Bengals because they were actually up in the game against Buffalo. And I actually took them against Buffalo to win that game. And I just think that they're going to just keep rolling with what they have going on. And plus, Lamar Jackson isn't playing from my understanding as well. So I'm going to take Cincinnati in that game. We have Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. I'm going to take Tampa Bay, even though they've already won the actual division. They don't really need to play this game. They still look kind of rusty to me in some areas, so I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I don't think Atlanta really cares. They might have a lot of individuals that are just kind of playing just to kind of see where they are for next year. So I don't think that they're really playing to really win the game per se, right? So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in that game. We have New England versus Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo. I think that Buffalo, just with their situation with Damar Hamlin, I think that they kind of have a lot more to play for as well. Just kind of more or less team camaraderie and really trying to bring that whole organization together. Sometimes tragedy ends up pulling individuals together or it breaks them apart, right? And I think that tragedy with Mr. Hamlin actually brought them a lot closer together, and I think that they're going to get ready for their playoff push as well. So I'm going to go with Buffalo because, like I said, I felt like they were going to lose that game against Cincinnati before that whole situation happened with Mr. Hamlin and everything else. But I think that that's going to help them push them along into the playoffs and really kind of get them propelled and getting ready for the playoffs and everything else that they have going on. All right, so I'm going to take Buffalo. So we have Minnesota versus Chicago. I'm going to take Minnesota because, from my understanding, Justin Fields isn't playing. He's having some hip issues and everything else. So Nathan Peterman, I can't remember what his name is. They have a backup quarterback playing for Chicago, and I just think that Minnesota, even though they don't really need this game, actually, no, I take it back. They do need this game to possibly, get a better playoff position. So I can see them still playing everyone on their end. So Minnesota, I'm going to take Minnesota in that game. All right. We have Houston versus Indianapolis. I don't think nobody really cares. Just to be honest with you, I'm going to go with Indianapolis because I mean I don't think Houston really cares in regards to like them winning or losing. Like it's just like one of those games like who cares? But I'm going to take the Colts. They actually need this game a little bit more just to kind of show that they're a real team. And I don't think Houston really cares because they're going to have the number one pick overall anyway. So that's a who cares game, but I'm going to go with Indianapolis on that game. We have the Jets versus Miami. This is a really interesting game. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm really going to take the Jets in this game to win. I know that they're having their quarterback controversy, quote unquote, or quarterback situation going on. I'm going to take the Jets in this one to beat Miami on the road. Next game, we have Carolina versus New Orleans. New Orleans actually pushed us, and they actually won the game against Philly, but I'm going to go with Carolina. I believe that Carolina actually is a better team as of right now, and I know that they have their quarterback situation going on, but I really want to see what Carolina can do. Even though this game really is nobody really cares as far as wins because Tampa Bay won, but I'm going to go with Carolina in this game. Next game we have Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. I am going to go with Pittsburgh. I like what I saw last week with their quarterback situation, and I know Cleveland really talent-wise is the better team, quote-unquote, but I really want to see Mike Tomlin keep his coaching winning streak alive of keeping at least a winning record, so I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. All right. We have the Chargers versus Denver. I'm going to go with the Chargers because I think that Denver is just a dumpster fire pit right now. And I'm going to go with the Chargers as of right now. So next game we have Arizona versus San Fran. This is going to be a blowout. I'm going to go with San Fran. I think San Fran is going to kick their ass from the first kickoff, and that game is just going to get out of hand, I believe, fairly quickly, and San Francisco is going to win that game easily, hands down. So the game after that, we have the Rams versus Seattle. I'm going to go with Seattle. I believe that Seattle has a lot more to play for, and the Rams could play spoiler, but I believe that the Rams just isn't their year. They just had too many injuries at key positions, and I mean the quarterback position for one, right, has really been kind of their Achilles heel this year, and I think that Seattle is really trying to get into the playoffs. They're currently in the playoffs but Seattle is really kind of trying to stay in the playoff race as of right now. So I'm going to go with Seattle to win this game. We have Dallas versus Washington. I believe Dallas will win this game because I don't think Washington, even though Ron Rivera is a good head coach and his players play for him, I just don't think that he has the talent. They're still up and down in regards to who to start, what quarterback we're going to start and everything else. So I think that Dallas, even though they already are solidified in regards to making the playoffs, I don't believe that Dallas will actually sit anyone. They still have a lot to play for themselves. So I'm going to go with Dallas over Washington. All right. Then we have another important game, which is the actual night game. We have the Detroit Lions versus Green Bay. I am going to take the Detroit Lions. Yes, I'm taking the Detroit Lions over Green Bay as of right now. I think that Detroit actually is a more talented team, man for man, better than Green Bay. I know everyone's saying, yeah, well, they have Aaron Rodgers. I totally understand that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, which is the most important position. But I believe that man for man across the board, Detroit is just a better team, man for man across the board. And they have lost some really close games. They've been in every game, at least fighting wise, in every game this year. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions in that game. All right. So let's get to the most important game that everyone cares about. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, we actually play the Giants this week. We actually played the Giants this week. The first time we played the Giants early in this year, we just beat the hell out of them. We actually beat them 48-22 in our first meeting, and we actually have a lot of individuals coming back. So we have Jalen Hurts coming back, we have C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming back, and we have Robert Quinn coming back. Now, that's the individuals coming back, but we have had a lot of injuries from that previous game as well. We have had Lane Johnson out. We've had Josh Sweater. I'm not sure if he's going to play, but I don't think that he's going to be back until the playoffs as well. We've also had our nickel cornerback, which is Maddox. He's been out as well with the injury. So we've had some individuals in and we've had some individuals out, but the most important player that we have that we need is Jalen Hurts. So once Jalen Hurts come back, I believe that he will actually correct everything that's been wrong with the Eagles, that's been plaguing us, because these 5 turnovers within the last 2 weeks has just not been Philadelphia Eagles football, and that's been one of the main reasons why we have been winning games, is because we have not been turning the ball over as much as the other team, right? So as of right now, I have the Eagles still with the number 1 seed in the NFC because of our quarterback and everything else that he's going to bring back to the table. He still has that shoulder. So if we can get him in this game, win this game, and not have anyone else actually get hurt, any prominent key player get hurt during this game, this is going to be a real physical game. I think that the Giants are really one of those teams where they're trying to push to create a culture within their organization as well. And why? Who else? What other team to not try to push an organization than the Philadelphia Eagles, who are really trying to be the number 1 seed or a viable number 1 seed in the NFC? So I think that this game is going to mean a lot to them as well. But I think that we just are a more talented team. And with the quarterback coming back, I think that we will end up with the number 1 seed in the NFC. So that's it, man. That's my picks for Week 18. And, once again, I think that we will be the number 1 seed. And I think that we will really have a really, really, really good chance of winning with Jalen Hurts back, because Gardner Minshew just was not getting the job done. All right. So that's it, man. Philly Fan Sports Week 18 edition. Thank everyone, who has been with me from the beginning. Please, guys, like and subscribe. Please, please, please. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers, but we got to get to the first 100 first. So please like, subscribe, and share as well. And, let's get ready to gear up for the playoffs. The playoffs start next week for the Eagles, regardless. Either we're going to have a first round bye, or we're going to be, if we lose this game, which is not a good thing, we are going to be in the wild card. So I know we can win this game. I believe we have the talent to win. And thank you guys and everyone else that has been supporting. All right. So I'm your man, Port City Ace, and I'm out. Peace.